Before we go any further, I want you to pause for just a moment and write these words in the comments. I receive my divine destiny. Go ahead. When you type those words, you're not just helping the video. You're declaring alignment with the future God has already prepared for you. And while you're here, take a second to like this video, because every act of faith, even the small ones, sends a signal to heaven that you're ready for more, that I want to speak to you gently, directly, just you and me, because this message isn't random. Something has been stirring inside you lately, hasn't it? A strange mixture of anticipation and uncertainty. A quiet whisper telling you that the life you've known is not the life you're meant to stay in. And even though part of you tries to ignore it, something deeper keeps rising like a soft tide in your chest. This sense that God is preparing a change so big, so unexpected, that even your angels are leaning close to make sure you don't miss the signs. Let me ask you something bold. Have you ever wondered why your spirit feels homesick for a place you've never been? Why you imagine skies you've never seen, streets you've never walked, and a life that doesn't match the one right in front of you? Or why you sometimes dream about unfamiliar landscapes, different cultures, different languages, dreams that feel more like memories from a life you haven't lived yet? Because angels are whispering something today, and they need you to hear it clearly. Your soulmate's destiny is tied to a new country, and God is preparing to take both of you there. I know how wild that sounds at first, but stay with me. You're about to understand why nothing in your heart has felt settled, why certain people have been drifting away, and why your spirit has been quietly shifting its weight. Almost like it's getting ready to stand up and walk into a new world. There's something extraordinary about you, something rare. You don't cling to comfort for the sake of comfort. You're someone who carries a calling, even if you haven't fully understood it yet. And that calling is bigger than the environment you were born in, bigger than the patterns you outgrew, bigger than the familiar routines you've quietly tolerated. You've felt it, haven't you? The sense that your future is not rooted in the soil where your past grew. The sense that your heart has been learning to breathe in a different rhythm lately, a rhythm that doesn't match the people around you. You're not imagining it. You're responding to prophecy, one that has been unfolding long before you realized it. That I want to tell you a small story, just for a moment. There was once a person who felt trapped in the same city, the same routine, the same cycle. Every day felt predictable, colorless, like everything around them spoke a language their soul no longer understood. Then one random afternoon, while sitting alone at a bus stop, they had a strange thought. What if my soulmate isn't even in this country? What if the person I'm meant for is out there somewhere, walking under a different sky? It sounded crazy. It shouldn't have made sense. But their heart responded with a warmth they couldn't explain. And years later, when they finally met their soulmate halfway across the world, they realized that thought wasn't random at all. It was God planting a seed. Some of the thoughts you've dismissed weren't random either. Let me ask another question, one most people are too afraid to consider. What if God is planning to relocate you because your purpose can't bloom where you currently are? What if your soulmate has been prepared in a different land, shaped by different experiences, and positioned for you in a way that requires movement, courage, and a leap of faith? This is why Isaiah 43 verse 19 speaks with such power here. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Your spirit perceives it, even if your mind is trying to catch up. You've been feeling this new thing rising inside you for months or even years, and now heaven is finally giving language to what your soul has already known. Your angels are revealing something powerful today. Your soulmate's destiny is not bound to your current location. Your love story is global, not local. And God is preparing to shift the ground beneath your feet so you can step into a life you haven't imagined, but one that has been imagined for you. Some people live small because they think small. But you've always felt larger on the inside than the life around you. You've always felt this quiet gravity pulling you towards something more spacious, more meaningful, more aligned with who you truly are. And that's because your story is not meant to take place in a single chapter location. Your story is a migration, a movement guided by the Spirit. Look at Abraham in Genesis 12 verse 1, when God said, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Abraham didn't know the destination. He didn't have a map, but he had a promise. And the journey began the moment he trusted the whisper more than the comfort zone. In the same way, You are being prepared for something you haven't seen yet. Your soulmate is part of this promise. Their life path is intertwined with yours in such a divine way that the two of you cannot fulfill your destiny in your current environment. Their growth, their calling, their purpose, it all connects with a place God is guiding you both toward. Maybe it's a place where your gifts will finally be recognized, or where your spirit will finally breathe deeply. Maybe it's where your future children will thrive. Or maybe it's where your voice, your work, your mission will reach people who could never be touched from where you are now. Matthew 6:33 reminds you, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." That means the move, the connection, the soulmate, the home, the new beginning. All of it unfolds when you prioritize spiritual alignment over fear. And right now, your spirit is aligning. You're not imagining this shift inside you. You're responding to destiny. Think about the restlessness you felt lately, the sudden urge to explore, the random thoughts about traveling or living elsewhere, the way your old routine suddenly feels like clothing that doesn't fit anymore. Even your friendships are changing. Your desires are changing. Your dreams are changing. This is not chaos. This is preparation. Your angels are nudging you because heaven needs you to stay aware. Your soulmate is already in motion. They might be in another country right now, praying for guidance, preparing for the next chapter, wondering why they feel so drawn to something new. They might be sensing you in the spirit without knowing your name yet. Proverbs 16:9 says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Right now, God is directing both of your steps toward the same horizon. What looks random is actually choreography, and here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes the greatest love stories begin long before two people physically meet. They begin in the spiritual realm, in the whisper of purpose, in the pull of destiny, in the unseen alignment God orchestrates quietly and patiently. Your connection with your soulmate has already begun. It's happening right now. You're being guided. They're being guided. Your roads are slowly curving toward each other, like two rivers that eventually merge into one. Think about the things that no longer satisfy you. The places that once felt comforting but now feel tight. The conversations that used to excite you but now feel empty. All of that is heaven's way of loosening your roots. Because God never shifts you without first shifting your heart. Your angels are saying, prepare yourself. A change of country is a change of destiny. And maybe that scares you a little. That's okay. Growth always comes with a tremble. Even Jesus, in John 16:13, told us that the Spirit of truth will guide us into all truth. Not push, not force, guide, step by step, moment by moment. Your fear doesn't disqualify you. Your uncertainty doesn't cancel your future. It simply means you're human, and you're on the edge of something miraculous. But I want to ask you something more intimate. Have you ever felt like your soulmate is farther away than you expected? Like they aren't in your usual circles, your usual networks, your usual environments? Have you ever sensed that your love story requires distance before it can reveal destiny? If so, that wasn't loneliness speaking. That was prophecy that you're not meant for an ordinary love. You're meant for a love that transforms you, a love that elevates your purpose, a love that expands your world, a love that pulls you into new experiences, new cultures, new lands. Your soulmate carries a key, and that key unlocks a future that doesn't exist where you are now. And here's the part people rarely talk about. Sometimes God hides your soulmate in another country because he needs both of you to develop individually in ways that wouldn't happen if you met too soon. Sometimes distance is divine protection. Sometimes separation is spiritual strategy. Proverbs 18:22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." That word, favor, means divine assistance, meaning God helps orchestrate the encounter. He positions two people in the right place at the right time. And sometimes the right place is not your hometown. It's a country that will become the foundation of your shared calling. You may not know the name of the country yet. You may not know the language. You may not understand how everything will come together. But you feel the pull, and your soulmate feels the pull. The same spirit is working on both of you. Let me speak directly to your heart. Your life is about to expand. Not mildly, not slowly, not subtly, radically, gracefully, prophetically. And your soulmate is part of that expansion. Heaven is preparing both of you for a season where you don't just fall in love. You relocate into purposed AT this moment. I want you to write another declaration in the comments. I believe God is leading me. This isn't for the algorithm. It's for your own heart. It's your way of saying to heaven, I'm listening. I'm open. I'm ready. And if you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment to subscribe to the Radiantia Soul Lift channel, because every week there are messages designed to guide you, uplift you, and confirm what God is already speaking into your spirit. Your story is not small. Your destiny is not local. Your love is not limited. Something extraordinary is unfolding, and you're only at the beginning. Take a deep breath with me right now, because everything we've explored together has been leading to this final moment, this closing revelation, this last piece of clarity your soul has been quietly reaching for. And before I bring this message to a close, I want you to type your final faith declaration in the comments, blessed and ready. Because those two words are exactly what heaven sees when it looks at you, blessed and ready for where God is leading you next. And if you haven't already, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Radiantia Soul Lift channel, because your journey doesn't end here. You're stepping into a divine storyline that is still unfolding, and you're going to need continued guidance, confirmation, and spiritual alignment as you move into the next season. Now listen closely, because this conclusion isn't a soft landing. It's a prophetic ignition. Your angels have been waiting for you to reach this part of the message, the part where everything starts to make sense, where all the scattered pieces of your life begin to align in one clear direction. Because what's coming next is not just a chapter shift, it is a destiny shift. One that involves movement, partnership, purpose, and divine orchestration that cannot be stopped. That you've heard me say that your soulmate's destiny is connected to a new country, but now I want to take you even deeper into what that really means. Not symbolically, not vaguely, but spiritually, emotionally, and practically. Because God is not sending you somewhere for scenery, He is sending you somewhere for assignment. And the person He designed for you is part of that assignment. Let me whisper something to your spirit right now. This journey you're preparing for, it's not only about love. It's about elevation. It's about stepping into a level of identity, power, clarity, and purpose that your current environment could never unlock. You're not leaving a country. You're leaving a version of yourself that can't go where God is taking you. And your soulmate? They are being shaped by a different land precisely because their environment is gifting them qualities, experiences, strengths, and spiritual insight that will complement what God has been developing inside of you. Heaven is matching your anointings like perfectly crafted puzzle pieces. You are not the same, but you are designed to fit. You are not identical, but you are aligned. You are not from the same soil, but you are rooted in the same spirit. Look at how Scripture shows us this again and again. In Ruth 1 verse 16, Ruth tells Naomi, "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay." Ruth was not from Naomi's land. Ruth was a foreigner, a woman drawn into a destiny that was not originally hers. But because she followed divine guidance, even through uncertainty, she met Boaz. She entered a land she didn't expect. And that move changed not just her life, but the lineage of Jesus himself. Think about that. A foreigner, becoming part of the greatest story ever written because she followed a spiritual pull into a land that didn't feel familiar. Do you understand what that means for you? Sometimes the most important part of your purpose is hidden in a place you haven't stepped into yet. Sometimes the greatest blessings God prepared for you are standing on a soil your feet have not touched. And the soulmate God has anointed for your life is waiting at the intersection of obedience and destiny, not the intersection of convenience and comfort. You have felt the tug. You have felt the restlessness. You have felt the sense that something in your spirit is expanding beyond your current borders. And that is because God is already breathing on your future. He is already preparing the details. He is already opening doors no man can shut. Revelation 3 verse 8 says, "Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut." And that open door is not just an opportunity. It is a relocation of purpose. Your soulmate is part of that open door. Their life, their calling, their preparation, they all align with a specific land, a specific culture, a specific spiritual climate that will nourish both of your destinies. You were never meant to remain in one place. You were meant to move with purpose. You were meant to transition with grace. Your life is marked by divine transitions, spiritual mile markers that lead you from comfort into calling, from waiting into breakthrough, from familiarity into faith. Let me be even more honest and intimate with you right now, because the angels are urging me to speak directly to that quiet place inside you. The part that still wonders, still doubts, still questions whether you're strong enough, capable enough, wise enough to step into something so big. Hear me. You cannot mess up a destiny that God Himself is guiding. You cannot lose what heaven has already assigned to your name. You cannot fail when God is the one orchestrating the path. Psalm 32:8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will guide you with my eye. Think about that. God is not just guiding your path. He is watching over the entire journey with the eye of a father who cannot lose sight of his child. Not even for a moment. When your mind worries about the unknown, when your heart fears the shift, when your soul trembles at the idea of leaving what you know. Remember this, you are not walking alone. You are walking with the one who holds every border, every nation, every destiny in his hands. And as for your soulmate, the one connected to this prophetic relocation, you must understand something crucial. They are not just a romantic partner. They are a destiny partner. Someone whose presence in your life activates the next version of you. Someone whose spiritual frequency matches yours so deeply that the two of you become a unified vessel for God's work. Someone whose courage strengthens yours, whose faith inspires yours, whose dreams complement yours. You have been asking God quietly, sometimes desperately, sometimes through tears, Lord, when will my love story begin? When will I meet the one? And maybe you've wondered why certain connections failed, why certain relationships felt misaligned, why certain people couldn't hold the weight of who you are becoming. It's because they were rooted in the wrong soil. Your heart was always meant to bloom somewhere else. And the fruit of your marriage, your purpose, your legacy, it has been reserved for a different land. A place where your soulmate has already been planted. A place where your spirits will converge, not by chance, but by divine engineering. You remember Jeremiah 29 verse 11? For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That future is not random. It is geographical. It is spiritual. It is relational. It is expansive. God's plan is not for you to stay stuck, small, or limited. His plan is to prosper you. And sometimes prosperity requires relocation. There is a version of you that only emerges when you step into a new environment. There is a strength in you that only awakens when you leave behind what is familiar. There is a spiritual authority in you that only rises when you trust God beyond borders. Angels have been orchestrating this journey for years, even before you knew what you were being prepared for. They have been softening your heart, loosening your roots, creating restlessness where you once felt content, creating clarity where you once tolerated confusion. They have been guiding you gently toward alignment with the one God created for you, the one whose destiny intersects with yours in a country you have not yet entered. Let me tell you something that will settle your spirit. Your soulmate is not late. Your destiny is not delayed. Your story is not behind schedule. You are exactly where you are meant to be right now, because God is not waiting on chance. He is waiting on alignment. Every disappointment, every closed door, every painful goodbye, every inner shift, every spiritual nudge, all of it has been leading you toward this divine crossing point, where your faith meets your future, where your courage meets your calling, where your spirit meets the land God prepared for you. And soon, very soon, you will see why nothing made sense before. You will see why you couldn't settle for less. You will see why your soul kept urging you to hold on. Keep believing, keep trusting, keep preparing. Because the love story God wrote for you is not ordinary. It is not small. It is not bound by geography. It is global, purposeful, anointed, and blessed. Your soulmate is moving toward you. Your destiny is opening before you. Your country is calling you, and God is guiding every step. Before you leave this video, speak your final faith declaration into the comments. Blessed and ready. That is your seal. That is your agreement. That is your spiritual signature on the promise God is revealing to you. If this message spoke to your spirit, take a moment to like this video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the Radiantia Soul Lift channel so you never miss the divine confirmations, prophetic messages, and spiritual guidance prepared just for you. You have reached the end of this message, but you have not reached the end of your story. Something new is beginning. Something powerful. Something ordained. You are blessed. You are guided. You are protected. You are ready. And your destiny is already unfolding.